where parties give certain remarks in terms of the demands that we're going there for. And then we're going to read the memorandum, and then we'll then take the acceptance of the memorandum from the acting public protector. She is not a public protector, she's an acting public protector who is acting now because Ramaphosa has suspended advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, who is the only legitimate and properly chosen public protector of South Africa. Hands off, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, hands off. Amanda. So fighters, colleagues, and all of us, let us go peacefully. We must be guided by the marshals. We must be guided by our leaders as we march peacefully to the public protector's office. And all our leaders are going to address us that particular side. The demand today is that we want the report on Phala Phala. We want all the 31 questions to be responded to. That is the purpose of the march which we are going to be engaged in now. Thank you very much. Let us proceed peacefully. So this is what is going to happen, fighters. When we leave here, we are going to follow the leadership on this road at the back of the truck. So all of us must move towards the back of the truck. Let's allow the leaders to be in front first, and then we all of us follow as we follow the route towards the public protector's office. Let us proceed in that particular manner.
Amanda, members, fighters, everyone, there is DOR in front of us. Don't go in front of the leadership. All of us, let us remain disciplined. All members of different political parties, remain disciplined. Be behind the marshals and the DOR until we arrive there, and allow the leadership to lead us. Amanda! Amanda!
Ramaphosa, as well as the executive, accountable. With respect to the Phala Phala saga, this is not going away. I guess what we can take from that is that over the past few months, since former spy boss Arthur Fraser laid the criminal complaint, members of parliament, as well as members of the public, are seeking the president to take them into confidence and explain exactly where this alleged private crisis is sitting, what the circumstances of the alleged robbery of the farmer in Poko. Right now, we see political parties such as the UDM, NCDP, the PAC, among others, as well as civil society organizations such as hashtag Marking My Name, marching together, irrespective of their political affiliation or their ideas, together for this common goal and the demand for the release of the Phala Phala report. As I stated earlier, that we did speak to the public protector spokesperson, Officer Kano, who explained that although the Executive Members Ethics Act dictates that a report, once a complaint is made, rather, the report should be finalized within 30 days. He did mention that, or note that, if it is not met within that deadline, then the investigation could continue and it would ultimately release. He also mentioned that it is not usual that in this institution one would release parts of an investigation. As you may know, a lot of these opposition parties have been asking about those answers that President Ramaphosa submitted to the public protector, asking that those answers be made public. However, according to the Executive Act, until an investigation is complete, none of them should be made public. What we should be making public to the public is, of course, the demands for
Sasha, you're not entering. You can cut to the other one. Asinalo valo. Well, because when we need him. Where are the recipients?
You guys must brief us first here what you are going to do.
Okay.
So that you don't shock us. What are you doing?
Amandla! 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 I-Afrika! I-Afrika! Mayibuye! I-Afrika! Mayibuye! Amandla! Comrades, what we are going to do, we are going to have a very short program. We are going to start with political parties and civil society organizations. They are going to give like a 2-3 minute remarks. After that, 3-minute remarks. After that, we are going to have the memorandum that's going to be read, and the ATM will read the memorandum. And thereafter, we're going to have the leader of the opposition parties that are here today. You know, in Parliament, it depends on the number of seats that you have. So the biggest political party here today is the Economic Freedom Fighters. So, Amanda! So we'll allow the CIC to give like a keynote address after the memorandum has been read. So that's the flow. And then at that time thereafter, we hope then that the Office of the Public Protector will be here to receive the memorandum. So that's the flow. So we're calling for high discipline, comrades. Okay, Amanda. So the first person to speak will be Tebuho from African United Democratic Front. Amanda!
Amandla! Amandla!
Mabaulete,
Mabaulete!
Mabaulete,
Mabaulete!
Thank you very much. My name is Tebogo Malema from African United Democratic Front, an African civil movement. We are not a political party. We only come when it's necessary. Whether it's in Zimbabwe, whether it's in Swaziland, whether Ethiopia. We do the same thing that United Democratic Front did before, but we are doing it for Africa. So we are here today to say, Comrade Manye, if you can remember, this case of Ramaphosa, it's worse than the case of Comrade Tony Ngeni. If people remember very well, Comrade Tony Ngeni was charged only for discount. This one, there is money involved. He have never declared money. So we are here and says, Africa, we must start to unite. And an African problem is our problem. A problem of Zimbabwe is our problem. A problem of Botswana is our problem. Lesotho is our problem. South Africa is our problem. They call it Africa, we call it home. Thank you very much.
Okay, I hand over to my co-MC, the Deputy President of the EFF.
Amanda! Away, Ramadola, away! Away, Ramadola, away! Pansi Ramaphosa, Pansi! Amanda! Away, two! Thank you very much. We're now going to call another civil society formation. It is called hashtag Not In My Name. It is represented by Sia Gentile. Fighter, Sia.
Amandla!
Away, two. Mata. Yaruna. Thank you, DP. I'm also here, not in solidarity. We are not standing in solidarity with anyone here. We are part of the people who have been victimized by this government and by its leader in particular. We are saying that as members of the most progressive movement of civil society in South Africa, that we want accountability.
We are demanding that the president of this country takes us into his confidence and tell us what exactly transpired in Phala Phala. We want to know everything, including the size of the mattress. We want to know the color of the bedding that was covering that mattress. Furthermore, we want to know why did they victimize that poor woman. Furthermore, we want to know that why is it that due processes were not followed at Phala Phala. So we are saying, comrades, that we are going to work hand in hand with our political leaders who are in opposition in parliament to say that not in my name and not in our name that we are going to allow and stand by the sidelines and watch these countries being taken to the dogs while we watch and do nothing and just tweet. We are going to take to the streets and say, we are together. Amanda! Amanda! Thank you.
Amanda! Hauwe muso mahodu, hauwe. Hauwe muso mahodu, hauwe. Comrades, the next speaker is going to be Comrade Mutsaledi Rankapule from the Forum for Service Delivery. Amanda!
Amanda! Awe tu! Mata! Kyaro na! Mata! Kyaro na! Thank you very much, leadership. My name is Mutsaledi Martin Rankapule from Forum for Service Delivery. We are here as F4SD to support the march. We are saying to Rango, Cyril Ramaphosa to step aside so that to allow the investigation on Phala Phala farm. He's the only man who knows what happened in Phala Phala farm. He must step aside so that they can allow investigation to continue to proceed. He broke an oath of his office. We are saying as Forum for Service Delivery, Rango, step aside. Public Protector, release the report. Release the report for Phala Phala farm. Amanda! Awe muso mahodu awe. Awe muso mahodu awe. Panzi kama mene panzi. Panzi kama shodi panzi. Thank you.
Amanda! Thank you very much, Forum for Service Delivery. Forum for Service Delivery is not yet in Parliament, but it has got representatives in different councils in different parts of South Africa. We are now going to call the leader and president of the African People's Convention, Comrade Themba Godi, APC president.
Izolethu, Africa, comrades, leaders, sons and daughters of the soil, I greet you in the name of our great leader, Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe, the upright man, sea green, incorruptible, and the defier of the undefiable, who has taught us that we must be the embodiment of our people's aspirations. I want to start by congratulating Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane for receiving a clean audit for the 3rd year running. Something that has not happened in the history of that office. President Ramaphosa has been caught with his proverbial pants down. He is struggling to decide how to formulate his lie. It is easy to give facts. It is always a problem to lie. That is why it is taking him so long to cooperate with state institutions. He refused to answer questions from journalists. He refused to answer questions in parliament, saying state institutions are investigating. But he is not cooperating with those very same state institutions. It can only be because he has been caught in a lie and is trying to concoct a big, fat lie. And we're here to say no one is above the law, everyone must be accountable, and there must be transparency. Lastly, I want to say to the lady who occupies the Public Protector's office that your utterances and conduct since taking office have merely enhanced the cynicism that you have been planted in that office to serve the interests of President Cyril Ramaphosa. And that the fact that you are struggling to produce a report, it is because you have allowed yourself to be part of the factions, to be part of those who are trying to defend the indefensible. So as the APC, we say, no one is above the law. Justice delayed is justice denied. And we call upon you, the African people, that let us unite beyond this. Unity in purpose and unity in action to address the needs of our people. And this Phala Phala scandal shows us that the focus of those who are in power is not the interest of our people, but self-enrichment. Izweletu, Africa. Thank you.
Amandla! Amandla! Without wasting time, we're going to call upon Azapo, the Deputy President, Comrade Ottawa, Kekeletso Khena. Watinda Bafazi.
Amandla! Amandla! Ke kopa ha ke re one Azania le re one nation. One Azania! One Azania! Amandla! Viva the undying spirit of Steve Biko! Viva! Viva batho ba bantsho! Viva! Viva Matla Mantsho! Viva! Viva the consolidation of the left! Viva! Amandla! Dumelang batho ba bantsho, ke a le leboha. Well, we are here to remind you, if somebody shows you who they are, you best believe them. This man has showed us who he is. He went into Codesa with a few thousand rands, and he came out a millionaire with Ankole. He showed you who you are, and you still didn't believe him. When the issues of Marikana showed up, he chose his money over our people. He showed you who he was, and you still didn't believe him. And today, he's showing you who he is. And for some odd reason, the media and this woman, release the report. Mamela, where's his colleague? Release the report. You have a responsibility to the people of South Africa. And we want to say to Ramaphosa, how will never defeat these people. Your money is not above our people. Amandla!
Viva Zapo, viva! Long live the fighting spirit of Steve Biko, long live! Long live the fighting spirit of Tsietsi Mashinini, long live! Amandla! Away, two! We are now going to call the newly elected president of the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, Comrade President Mzanele Nyotso. Izweletu, Africa, Izweletu, Africa, Phansi ngamasela phansi. Leaders, the Pan-Africanist Congress raises its voice in unison with the opposition political parties in the National Assembly, with extra-parliamentary political parties, with mass-based civil society organizations, and with the people of occupied Azania as a whole. We agree that the public protector must stop dancing on eggs and do what is bound to do, without any sentiment of favoritism or fear of retribution by executive authority, and make its report available in the name of transparency, accountability, and good governance. The country is on the edge of complete collapse once its Chapter 9 institutions also begin to fail to make their constitutional responsibility of checks and balances a necessary action of power democracy. The PAC says the cracks on the wall of lies and misrule are already showing. The governing party is drowning in its own sea of corruption and unethical leadership. When the person in the highest office of the country is seen as a thief and untrustworthy, we are all bound to raise our voices and talk as one. The PAC champions a clean government, a clean
administration in government. We cannot keep quiet when the morals of a robber and of a thief and of a criminal are promoted by a sitting president. We call for the restoration of land and African people. We say reparations must be on the agenda on a path leading to lasting peace among all citizens. We stand for the redistribution of wealth and incomes. We stand for unity, one nation, one Azania, one people, one Africa.
Izolethu.
I-Africa, mayibuye.
I-Africa.
Thank you, President of PAC. As newly elected, the man has got a fresh mandate. Now we're going to call upon the next political party represented in Parliament, COPE, the Congress of the People. It's going to be represented by the Deputy President of COPE, Comrade Willie Madisha. Mandla!
Amandla. Amandla.
Anakiludlu.
Amandla. 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 Viva South African people, viva. Viva South African people, viva. You are all important here.
And the people of South Africa, all of them,
Whether they are here or not, we want to say they are
all extremely, extremely important.
That is why we have come here. They all have sent us, whether they're here or not,
They have sent us here so that we can say
to the public protector, we are tired
because you are protecting thieves.
instead of dealing with this problem that we are faced with, you are busy protecting thieves.
You are protecting thieves.
You ought to have risen to deal with this particular problem long, long ago.
We are here because
Even the Reserve Bank has for more than 92 days
not come up to say that these problems,
must be solved. We are extremely angry.
it is not only Ramaphosa, although he is leading,
But the whole of ANC, they are the people who are causing problems.
that is why we shall say,
Away with the ANC, away. When we sit there in Parliament,
when we sit there and say that
we must ask questions. What do? They protect Ramaphosa.
when we say Ramaphosa,
Answer questions. ANC shall always rise and protect him.
that is why we say Ramaphosa
And the whole ANC must go away
because they are not the people.
who are supposed to lead our country. They are thieves.
They are thieves.
The only thing that they know is to take money.
To take money, some of them we know, they even take that money,
In their own plastic bags.
black plastic bags, they take that to their own homes.
And I am very happy that you are all here for us to
Say salute as the people of South Africa
to say that the entire ANC government must go away.
These are men and women who must take over.
As the leaders of South Africa, because these men and women here
Are the people who know what we are supposed to do.
what Ramaphosa and his people, ANC, have done.
Is that they are able to eat on a daily basis.
That's why halaka ba lebelela. Ba na le mekgabe e megolo, ebile e thibile le moo.
That is why we say,
You people must rise and fight wherever you see
ANC, wherever you see their colors,
You must say, away with ANC, away.
we want to see our people eating on a daily basis.
I look at you, you are very hungry. You came here without transport.
All the people who are here are hungry people.
My comrades, they are hungry. They don't know where to go.
All together. Let's move together.
Let's be united and we shall achieve. Thank you very much.
Mandla. Viva Deputy President Willie Madisha. Viva.
Aman!
Amandla. Phansi ngamasela, phansi. Viva UDM, viva. Viva General Bantolo Misa, viva. Amandla. So the next speaker is the Deputy President and Chief Whip of the United Democratic Movement in Parliament, Honorable Ngabayom Zinkwankwa. Amandla. Amandla. Phansi ngamasela, phansi. Phansi ngamatutu, phansi. Phansi ngamaxoki, phansi. Phansi ngohlohle sakhe nomaqhanqa, phansi. Kanteni noyika ntoni na zingamagwala oyingwe sadubulisa bam wachoka mnandi wachoka mnandi oyingwe sadubulisa bam. Mandla. Comrades, we are here today to do a very important thing. We are here to make sure that we finish what we started in Parliament of ensuring that we hold the President of the Republic to account. There are many ANC young people who wanted to join us today. They did not join us because they are cowards. They did not join us because in the ANC there is no democracy. There is gerontocracy. Gerontocracy, the senior citizens are in charge. Whatever they say is what is going to be done. We are here because we are democratic parties that understand our constitutional mandate and responsibility to hold the executive to account. President Ramaphosa has lied in all the forums. He lied and he said that is accounted to various institutions of the state, and we discovered that he did not do so. The strangest thing is that even in the media and the so-called analysts who were willing to raise the bar of accountability during the years of President Zuma are now deciding to put the bar of accountability at ankle level because they don't want to hold Cyril to account. We are saying today that President Cyril Ramaphosa must account to the public, but the public protector needs to release the report with immediate effect so that we can see all that is contained in the investigation. As Parliament, we will ensure that he steps aside so that those people who are capable of running the country can do so. People will understand that we gave him a fair opportunity to run and lead the country. But there's nothing you can do when those people are corrupt. It doesn't matter who you elect there. They are all compromised and corrupt. Standing here is the government in waiting of the Republic of South Africa in 2024. I want to appeal to Advocate Koleka Galeka and say your surname is the name of one of the leading kings, the leading warriors of South Africa, King Galeka. In honor of the name or the person whose name you carry, do the right thing for the Republic of South Africa. Release the report. We are here. We will make sure if they do not release the report, we will seek legal remedy. Amandla! Viva South Africa! Viva! Viva United Opposition! Viva! Thank you.
Hamba Ramaphosa, hamba. Hamba Ramaphosa, hamba. Puma Ramaphosa, puma. Puma Ramaphosa, puma. Mandla!
The next speaker is going to be the Deputy President
Of the ACDP, African Christian Democratic Party,
Comrade Wayne Thring. Over to you, Comrade.
We want to greet all of the leaders of the different political parties present. We want to greet those from civil society who are here, and to each and every one of you, sons and daughters of Africa, sons and daughters of South Africa. I also bring greetings from our president, the Reverend Dr. Kenneth Meshwe, and the leadership of the African Christian Democratic Party. As the ACDP, we are unapologetic. We believe that when a president of a country who believes in a constitutional democracy supposedly takes an oath of office and puts his hand on the Bible and swears to the nation that he will uphold the Constitution, says to the nation that he will be honest, says to the nation that he will be a man of integrity, says to the nation that he will be a man of transparency, says to the nation that he will be accountable to the people of this soil, says to the nation that the people of South Africa will be able to hold him to account. And then when he refuses, when he stops and says, I do not want to be held to account, we as the African Christian Democratic Party will say to that president, Mr. President, you took an oath of office. And as the ACDP, we will hold you to account. And so to the president of this country, there are those who say, Mr. Ramaphosa, if you want to keep your name and not want to be called Phala, if you want your name to be changed from Ramaphosa to Phala, if you don't want your name to be changed, then Mr. Ramaphosa, be a man of integrity and keep the people to account. The questions that have been leveled to you, we deserve the right to those answers. We demand that the answers to the questions that the public protector have given to Mr. Ramaphosa, we want the answers to those questions. Release the Phala Phala report. To the Deputy Public Protector, you have a constitutional responsibility. Release the report. It is more than 30 days. It is now more than 60 days. It is more than 90 days. We do not want to wait for 100 days. As the African Christian Democratic Party, who believes in the principle of justice and the principle of righteousness, we say to the public protector and to Mr. Ramaphosa, do the right thing. Let the report be released. Thank you.
Amanda.
Viva ACDP, viva! No, thank you very much, the Deputy President of the African Christian Democratic Party, Honorable Wayne Tring. I had thought that because you are referring to the Holy Book, you should have said to Ramaphosa that it's Mene Mene Tekel. Because his governance has been weighed and has been divided, it is found to be wanting. Now I'm going to call comrades a revolutionary. My task is quite simple. I'm here to introduce the leader of the Pan-African Revolution, the leader of our movement, not only here in South Africa. I'm here to introduce the President and Commander-in-Chief of the EFF, Comrade President.
Amandla.
Amandla. Amandla.
Viva South Africa, viva! Viva United Opposition, viva! Auwe mmušo wa makgodu, auwe! Auwe mmušo wa dirata marukwana, auwe! Auwe mmušo wa makgodu, auwe! Aiwe ANC, aiwe!
Down with Ramaphosa, down! Down with Ramaphosa, down!
Thank you very much, Deputy President,
and your co-MC, and all leaders who are here who have spoken before me. I am not the last speaker who have asked that the president of the ATM be the one who reads a memorandum, because this is not an EFF picketing. It's a picketing of all political parties represented in parliament and civil society and many other political parties that are not in parliament. I know for a fact that the IFP would have wished to be here because they've been part of all the meetings to plan this day. Comrade Koleka, we are very disappointed in you. She's here, by the way. The public protector is here. Let her come in front so that people know that we are not gossiping about her. Public protector is here.
We grew up with her in the youth league. She was part of our struggle, and when we grew up together in the youth league, we were never taught to turn against our people. Kgalema Motlanthe, in all the inductions that he gave me and her, always said to us, we must always choose the side of the people. To choose the side of the president is to turn against the weak. Because as a revolutionary, you must always be on the side of the weak. Since she took over as acting public protector, she says we are intimidating her, we are bullying her, we are doing all manner of things against her. We have never done anything to you, my sister. We have asked you to do an honorable thing and release the report. After 30 days, instead of releasing a report as demanded by law, you come and say to us, I'm not ready about the report. The law doesn't say after 30 days you must come and tell us the status of the report. It says release the report. After 30 days, you were supposed to release the parts of the reports which are ready and say to us it is not a complete report, but I will come back to give you the full report, not a status of the report. So you have violated the law and you know that very well. The report must be released with immediate effect. I heard Deputy President saying we want answers. We don't want answers. We want a report. Because if we get answers, we are going to get answers of that big nose only. But the report is going to give us answers of everyone. The police commissioner, the protector himself, the pilot who flew our helicopter into another land without a case number. Every policeman who is involved in these shenanigans of Ramaphosa is supposed to be interviewed by the public protector. The public protector must interview the woman who was tortured in that house of Ramaphosa. If that report comes out without that woman's story being heard, it's not an honest report. There is the people who stole the money. One of them is in prison. The public protector must take a trip to prison to go and interview that guy who's in prison. No stone must be left unturned. We don't want involvement of elites who respond through lawyers. If you interview ordinary people, the domestic workers, including those thieves, they will tell you that no, we didn't steal $4 million. We stole 8. Now, because if Ramaphosa gives a wrong answer about the amount, the criminals will tell the real amount of how much they've stolen. So there is no any other way he can avoid answering in an honest manner. Once he lies to the public protector and lies to all other institutions, he must know that he has broken his oath of office, because he has got no right to lie to the public protector, to lie to the Hawks, to lie to NPA, to lie to the Reserve Bank. The Reserve Bank cannot move on Ramaphosa. Why? Lesetja Kganyao, the governor, has got a case of abusing a credit card. A credit card that was swiping in places where it was not supposed to swipe. And he knows that they've got that scandal for him. As a result, he's refusing to tell us the honest truth. Why do you ask Ramaphosa where the dollars come from? The question to the Reserve Bank is very simple. Do you know about these dollars? Because any foreign currency must pass through you. If you don't know about it, therefore it doesn't exist. It came in illegally. Ramaphosa violated the laws. Now we are told we have asked him questions. Why do you ask Ramaphosa questions about internal matters of the Reserve Bank? Because you will know through an ID number if there was such a transaction. Now we are told there is a man who's not traceable, who came into our country with dollars and gave to a domestic worker and then bought buffaloes. Those buffaloes were bought how many years now? 2 years. They've never been collected. There is no any domestic worker that can receive dollars. It's not possible. Le nna ke le so ke rekisa dikgomo. Ha ba re ba tlo reka tse 9, I must be there myself. It's a very big transaction. There is no any ordinary person who can handle the dollars. It's a lie. Ramaphosa would have told the buyer, I'm not in the country. I'm coming back on such a date. Wait for me so that you hand over the money to me. I hand over the buffaloes to you. The lies are continuing. The first lie we're told in Polokwane at the ANC conference. He said those are the proceeds of an auction. Today, it's no longer auction. It's some invisible man who came alone to come and buy the buffaloes. The first thing he said, Ramaphosa, was those monies are part of auctions. I asked him, what do you mean? When was the date? Who was the auctioneer? Because the auctioneer doesn't allow such cash. Those of us who are farmers, I'm a farmer myself, we auction every Wednesday in Polokwane. They do not accept cash. You must EFT the money or you must swipe the money. How can they accept so much money in cash? And those auctioneers don't talk about it. He doesn't have an answer about who was the auctioneer. Because there is no auctioneer who will accept to take such a responsibility of a lie that he received the dollars. We know Ramaphosa's auctioneers. We know the people who auctioneer. Every time when there's auction there, they've refused that they've handled such a transaction. So, comrades, it's a lie after a lie, and the public protector must protect the public, not the president. She must be on the side of the public. We are not here to say to you, Comrade Kollega, put this in the report. We are not influencing you. We are saying release, which means it's completed. We are not saying, no, put this, release the report. It doesn't matter whether it's incomplete or not. Release the report. Under your leadership, for the first time, the office of the public protector gets so many people to come and demand the release of a report. What type of legacy do you want to build for yourself? You are still very young and have got a very long, bright future. Ramaphosa will not be president of this country forever. You are defending a person who's left with few hours in office, and you will be a collateral damage and destroy your career in the name of other people. There are so many people who have destroyed themselves defending individuals. Please defend the institution, not an individual. Do not allow Ramaphosa to render this institution useless. He suspended the public protector without a reason. When the public protector gave him 31 questions, instead of responding, he gave a letter of suspension. How do you suspend a person who's investigating you? You are conflicted already when it comes to this person because he has already given you questions. So we're dealing here with a crook, with a fraudster, with a kidnapper, with a money launderer. a gangster. Take it to ape ditsotsi a di fetša ho utswa a ba seno utswa tsotsi e nngwe ya ba utswetša a ba bule case ba nyakana le yona o mongwe a re ke bona e tšwa soka all star mo cheke ka mola Ramaphosa le batho ba ene ba dia sware cheka o ka re ba tshetse border tsa mo thola bordereng ba tlhakana bordereng ditsotsi ba tlhakana on no man's land so that they can say they violated no one's law. Everybody who is involved our resources, those police resources are ours. Everyone who abused those resources must make sure that that person is held accountable. So fighters and everybody else who's here, we are not here to fight the public protector. We are here to defend the integrity of the office of the public protector. It belongs to us. And who is going to protect the public protector? It must be the public. Because she protects you, you must protect her. So, comrades, we are here today peacefully. We are demanding the report. If we're not going to get this report anytime soon, we're coming to sit in the office of the public protector. Because sit in by law, by our constitution, it's a form of protest. Retlotsa na mo ka re tšedi complain so. Our papara re tšedi office. Lena ba tšedi blue. Let's ka bala re khoma lena. A re ta mo a re lwele lena. Re tšile re tšireletša lena. Aba le patele di overtime. Aba le patele di risky. Mara le busy le defender di nko tša go robala godimo ga ditšhelete ba sa lefe selo ba ijaba le tee ba ijaba le one lena ke lena one day you and the soldiers of South Africa one day you must turn your guns against those who are in authority and stealing against our people. These people here, when they say we hold government accountable, they are not fighting government. So you are not Ramaphosa's police. You are our police. We come in peace. Even the day we are coming to do sit in here, we are going to come in peace. Please, your job is just to sit with us. And don't do anything until we are given a report. Once we are given a report, we'll go home peacefully. We don't have a problem with anyone. So, public protector, please, we are here, we are asking. Release the report. Parliament is busy there, trying to make sure that Ramaphosa is held accountable. Your report will be more effective to help us, to hold him more accountable in Parliament. You will enable Parliament to make sure that Ramaphosa is indeed held properly accountable. That's all we're asking you, to help Parliament to hold the president accountable. So, fellow fighters and fellow South Africans, the president of ATM is going to read a memorandum. The public protector will sign and accept the memorandum. From there, she will give some few remarks. You saw her, she's very tiny. It's a woman. We don't fight with women. When she comes here to give her remarks, we are going to give her the necessary respect we give to all women. But she knows very well that this is what we want. So we must all conduct ourselves in a very disciplined manner so that our enemies who are here with cameras do not concentrate on wrong things and leave our correct message. It will be wrong of me to leave this mic without saying to Britain and everybody else who care, we do not mourn the death of a colonizer and a murderer who came and killed our people, and she's wearing proudly a stolen goods on her head. We have nothing to do with the Queen. Renaka Spedi, batho ba o kwa re bolele selae ka bona mara wena o ke le kgodu le le bolaileng batho ba rena ba utswa di-minerale tša mo Africa ba utswa di-minerale tša all over Africa. Today people tweet, hey we mourn the Queen. But when Helen Zille tweeted and said that not everything is bad about colonialism, you all said Helen Zille is a racist. How can she praise colonialism? By mourning and praising the Queen, you are celebrating colonialism. You are not different from Helen Zille. We were not colonized by the land called Britain. We were colonized by the leadership of Britain that killed our people. So we must not be asked to do wrong things here. We are very clear. The Queen does not represent anything good. Britain has got a lot of gold, yet they don't have a single mine of gold. Those are stolen goods. We must talk about reparation. We must talk about the return of the gold. We must talk about the return of the stolen diamond and not these other side issues which are not important to us. How can you be oppressed for so many years? After liberation, you've got nothing to show that we have been liberated. You have no land, you have got no bank, you've got no mine. The only thing you have is a hatred of other Africans. It was this Queen who gave us surnames, by the way. This Britain, we did not have surnames. We were calling each other Kadireto Jarina. The surnames and the addresses, we did not have an address because they move up from year to year according to the season. So today, we are given address, we are given borders, we are given surnames because we must be controlled by a certain nation which we must celebrate. We, as black people, everywhere else we are one thing. You said you don't want the people of Zambia, you don't want the people of Zimbabwe, you don't want the people of Swaziland. When we're putting the king of the Zulus, there were Zulus from Zambia, there were Zulus from Zimbabwe, there were Zulus from Malawi. But you are beating up a Malawian and saying we don't want Malawian. You even speak in Zulu that you don't want Malawians. You don't know that person is a Zulu like you who left here during those years to go and settle that side. The coronation of the king should have actually educated all of us that indeed we are one thing, because there is Mpofu in Zimbabwe, there is Mpofu in Eastern Cape, there is Mpofu in Parliament now as we speak, representing public protector. So which Mpofu you don't want? Because all these Mpofus are one thing, they are Mpofus. So we are one thing as the continent, and we must embrace each other and demand the return of our land. PAC, we congratulate you for having held a successful conference, because they don't want black people to meet and resolve their issues peacefully. They showed us thugs there who were pushing gates and all of that so that they can perpetuate a narrative that the PAC is disorganized. You disappointed a lot of enemies of black people. When we meet as black people, we must discuss and resolve our problems ourselves without impressing the enemy. We want the PAC, we want Azapo, we want ATM, we want all of us to come together and make sure that we fight for a historical mission, which is the return of the land. I will never meet people and not talk about the land. Even the public protector must investigate the stealing of the land by these people who came here to steal our land. Fighters, thank you very much for your discipline. Thank you very much, PAC leaders, ATM, ACDP, AZAPO, Forum for Service Delivery, COPE. Please, we thank you for your discipline. Because every time we meet like this, they expect wrong things. You demonstrated discipline coming this way, and when you go back home, please continue to be disciplined. And if you arrive home late due to transport issues, make sure you deliver females first at their homes before you go home, and make sure they are safe. The only way to make sure they are safe, you wait at the gate until the light goes on. Then it means she is inside. Then you can go home. We must love each other and protect each other and see each other as equals. Amanda! Amanda! Viva South Africa! Viva! Viva United Opposition! Viva! How no makubi! Siyaya! Siyaya! No makubi! Siyaya! Siyaya! No mabesetubolas! Besishayas! Besibopas! No mabesetubolas! Besishayas! Besibopas! Who left? Who right? Come on, sir! Who left? Kita! Kilame! Kiribata! Samarumo! Rumo! Asicha! Where were you when I'm shit? Where were you when I'm rem? Sofa sketchy! Etati! Sofa sketchy! Emoye! Kichima! Zipram Konto Alliance! Shoot to kill! Yamasa! Shoot to kill! Kilame! Shoot to kill! Yamasa! Shoot to kill! Kilame! Kiss the poor! The farmer! Kiss the poor! The farmer! Brr, pa! Pa! Brr, pa! Pa! Attention!
Manda! Ralebuha mukoni, ralebuha. Economic freedom. Economic freedom. In our lifetime. In our lifetime. Manda! Now I want to thank you, President of the EFF, with that very brave message. I think we'll all take that message home. Thank you very much. We're going to press ahead with the program, comrades. We're going to call upon the President of the ATM. But before we do, I want to just ask you to understand just one slogan, sir, ATM. When I say to you, peace in our land, you must say, peace in our lifetime. Peace in our land. Peace in our land. Thank you. Now we're going to call, he's known as the most troublesome president in that parliament, President Vuyo Zungula, to read the memorandum. And as he does so, we also want to ask the acting public protector to be here, because this is the message to her. And this message that is being read here is not the ATM message. It's a message for all of us that are here. This message has been put together by the entire team. So the ATM is representing the entire people that is here on the stage. Amandla!
Amandla! Amandla! Izwele to advocate Zaleka, the acting public protector of South Africa. We, the concerned opposition parties and civil society organizations, demand the immediate release of the Phala Phala report. we, the opposition parties represented in our country's various legislatures and the broader society, have gathered here today to demand the immediate release of the Phala Phala report. As you may already be aware, we have in our midst individuals who represent the people of South Africa at all three spheres of government. These elected public representatives who serve as the voice of the people have the constitutional mandate and obligation to monitor and oversee the work of the executive and hold them accountable, which includes holding President Cyril Ramaphosa accountable. From the very outset, we want to be clear that there is overwhelming evidence that Mr. Ramaphosa has broken his oath of office, and through the Phala Phala farm scandal, has destroyed the public trust that some of the voters might have had in him. Moreover, this scandal has damaged the reputation and standing of South Africa both globally and continentally. Each day that Ramaphosa spends in office, South Africa continues to be embarrassed locally, regionally, and internationally. To add salt into the injury, the unlawful and irrational delays by the acting public protector, Advocate Zaleka, to release the Phala Phala report as mandated by the law dents the credibility of the office of the public protector and undermines the role of this important Chapter 9 institution. It is our view as this collective that the conduct of the acting public protector on the Phala Phala saga leaves so much to be desired. The acting public protector's behavior over the past few months lends weight to the suspicion that her rash acting appointment was part of Ramaphosa's plan to frustrate the investigation into the Phala Phala farm scandal. Some of the pertinent and unwelcome actions of the acting public protector's part include the following. One, as the acting public protector, you wasted no time in trying to prevent the public protector's office from funding the legal cost of the public protector Advocate Mkhwebane that were related to challenging the president's suspension of the PP. You are aware that the suspension of the public protector constitutes a clear conflict of interest, as the president is the subject of the investigation by the very same Advocate Mkhwebane. For a woman to do this to another woman was very regrettable and suspicious. It is common cause that on the 17th of June 2022, Mr. Ramaphosa negotiated what amounts to a secret extension deal with the acting public protector, owing to him claiming to be extremely busy. Yet the very next day, on the 18th of June, Mr. Ramaphosa was indeed busy in his private farm auctioning his uncalled cattle. Despite knowing the above information, the acting public protector still went ahead and granted the extension on the 22nd of June, thereby making mockery of the legal requirement to issue a report in 30 days. Eventually, after the empty threats of subpoenas, Mr. Ramaphosa submitted his responses to the 31 questions on the 22nd. It is now 7 weeks after Mr. Ramaphosa's submission. To date, the acting public protector has not even given an indication whether or not she has arrived at the section 7.9, where Mr. Ramaphosa would be given an opportunity to respond to the preliminary findings. In light of the above, we want to register the following points. The excessive and irrational delays by you, the acting public protector, are in contravention of the law. The Executive Members Ethics Act number 82 of 1998, section 3.2, is unambiguous in stating that the public protector must issue a report on the alleged breaches within 30 days of receiving a complaint. The word must contained in this section is preemptory. In other words, it means you have got no discretion on the matter. You must do as directed. You have been conducting yourself as if the word must is the same as may. Must and may are two different things. We want to caution you against amending the law through the wrong interpretation. Secondly, we want to further clarify that this section of the law also says the report must be on the alleged breach. This clearly talks to the substance of what needs to be reported. We reject your understanding that the report envisaged in this section is the same as a status report. Your one-word report, which is ongoing, which has become your standard refrain when asked to report on the progress, is an insult to our intelligence and undermines the role of this Chapter 9 institution, the public protector, and frustrates the oversight role that some of us who are charged with the task of holding the executive accountable. You writing to the Speaker of Parliament is just a flimsy excuse which does not relieve you from the responsibility of issuing a report as directed by the law. The Executive Members Ethics Act, stop protecting Ramaphosa and start protecting the people of South Africa. In drafting this law, the lawmakers were alive to the realities that perhaps the 30 days might not be sufficient for the final report to be issued. The subsequent section 3.3 provides that if the investigation is not completed in the envisaged 30 days directive, you may issue another report when the investigation is completed. Again, we want to draw you to the attention to the choice of words used by the lawmakers. The lawmakers said you may issue another report. Any reasonable person would understand that another presupposes that there would be first an initial report. Surely the word another cannot mean the first and last report. Also consistent with your wrong contention that by saying the investigation is ongoing and you think that you have reported, you couldn't at the end of the investigation say the investigation is now complete and take that to mean you have issued the final report. Both the initial and the final report must contain the entire details of the findings. As opposition parties, we have received a disturbing report that you have decided to conflate and club together issues that arise from the EMIA investigation with those that arise from the Public Protector Act. In doing so, we have directly contributed to the delays in issuing the report on the alleged breaches of the EMIA, which, unlike those that are governed by the Public Protector Act, have a strict reporting time. We wish to remind you that as regards to the EMIA breaches, the Public Protector has a sole mandate and does not depend on other agencies for the required findings, largely because the law is about the conduct of the executive rather than maladministration, which is the domain of the Public Protector Act. This means that any delays can only be attributed to incompetence in your office or lack of cooperation by Mr. Ramaphosa. We also wish to remind you that in terms of Section 181.3 of the Constitution, some of the provisions of the Public Protector Act, compliance with the notices and directives issued by the Public Protector are binding to the organs of state, including individuals under investigation, such as Mr. Ramaphosa. Those under investigation have no choice but to respect and abide with your directives so that the investigations are not drawn out with no end in sight. The Public Protector Act gives the Public Protector serious remedies for those who are not cooperating, including subpoenas and applications to the High Court by notice of motion for an order to be declared the person in contempt of the Public Protector. Other than the threat to issue a subpoena to Mr. Ramaphosa to respect the return date of the 31 questions, the acting public protector has not used any of the available remedies. Thus, an impression is created that the acting public protector is very happy with the snail pace of the investigation and the deliberate violation of the 30 days directive. Finally, given that the EMEA breaches listed in the complaints largely mirror provisions raised in the Section 89 inquiry launched in Parliament to impeach Mr. Ramaphosa, it is not clear why up to now, almost 90 days later, the acting public protector has failed to conclude on those breaches. The reason the Speaker was able to initiate Section 89 inquiry is because those alleged breaches were accompanied by evidence for each of the breaches. We are reliably informed that the same impeachment motion, including the evidence, was supplied to the acting public protector as part of assisting the acting public protector to comply with the 30 days directive. So, as opposition parties, we hold the view that we have done everything possible to assist you in this investigation. But unfortunately, despite the assistance, there is still poor performance on the part of the acting public protector. We therefore demand the following from you as the acting public protector. Number one, the EMEA complaint must be dealt with as a separate investigation. Maladministration issues that are governed by the Public Protector Act must be investigated separately, and the delays experienced in the process should not affect the issuing of reports on the alleged breaches in terms of the EMEA report. We strongly advise the acting public protector to not aim to have a consolidated report of both the EMEA and PP Act findings, because inherent in that approach are unnecessary delays. The breaches under each act, although may be related, but can be exclusively and independently dealt with. The acting public protector must arrange for an urgent meeting to account in Parliament on the progress made thus far on the entire investigation. And within 7 calendar days from today, the report as envisaged in Section 3.2 of the EMEA must be issued, failing which we'll have no other choice but to seek legal remedy. Thank you.
Mandla. Thank you very much, President of the African Transformation Movement, President Zungula. We're now going to sign this memorandum. So President Zungula is going to sign on behalf of the political parties that are represented here. And then the acting public protector, Advocate Koleka Kaleka, is going to sign as well. So we're going to leave here with a signed copy. We're going to leave with a signed copy so that we can keep record of all the demands that we have made in relation to the Executive Members Ethics Act, which we are coming to make demands on and about here. And then immediately after the signing, she's going to make some few remarks, and then we're going to close and then go back home peaceful, all of us. She's signing now. Oh, sign now, mo, sign now, mo. Oh, sign now, mo. Oh, sign now, mo, sign now, mo, I say mo. Oh, sign now, mo, sign now, mo. Oh, Sainamo, Sainamo, Asemo. Amanda, thank you very much. She has signed, and the president of the ATM has signed on behalf of all opposition parties that are here today. We are now going to give an opportunity to the acting public protector, who is the deputy public protector, Advocate Nompilo Koleka Kaleka. I just saw the name Nompilo now on the signing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Program Director. Allow me to pass my warm and welcoming greetings from the Office of the Public Protector to the leaders of the opposition parties, those who are represented in Parliament and those who are not represented in Parliament, members of Parliament, civil society, leaders within your communities, and members of the public present here. Ndiyabulisa, ndiyadumedisa. On behalf of the Office of the Public Protector, I'm here with the CEO, Sistandi Sibanyoni, with the acting COO, Advocate Nedisiwe Kabinde, as well as with the spokesperson, Mr. Opasekhalwe, who is well known to you. Allow me to pass on our gratitude to you for having shown your dedication and commitment to the strengthening of the democracy of South Africa. What you have done and displayed today is exactly what the Constitution had intended and continues to intend, that it is you who will protect and strengthen this democracy. We further acknowledge and accept and are grateful that you are here peacefully to show your support to us as the Office of the Public Protector. As we continue to execute our duties, we will do so knowing that there is no political undue influence on this office. This office needs to do its work independently, without any fear, without any favor, and without any prejudice, to ensure that we produce credible reports which will stand the test of the legal process. As you are well aware, most of our reports end up in court. It is therefore important for us to ensure that we investigate diligently and we apply our minds so that in line with our act, when we produce the report upon its completion, it is a report that is implementable. Now, members of Parliament in particular, I really take this with the greatest of respect, and allow me just to divert a little bit and also give you a task and say, we have forwarded to the Speaker of the National Assembly a list of remedial action which we have made against state organs which have not been implemented. These remedial actions speak to gaps which allow corruption in our country and to governance gaps in the administration of our country. We therefore call upon you that you kindly assist us as these reports will be sent to your committees. We are available to come forth to explain them so that you can ensure that in your oversight, you ensure the implementation of these reports. Furthermore, members of the public, let me assure you that the Public Protector, through your funds, through the funds of the public, are paying for the legal fees of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, the Public Protector for the Republic of South Africa. We are paying for her to contest her suspension. We are paying for her to defend herself in the impeachment process. We are also paying for her to defend herself in the criminal proceedings of the perjury charges that she is facing. I will therefore at this stage not go at length to respond to the demands that you have raised. We shall within 7 days respond to these demands in writing, and we shall submit them to the leadership. I thank you.
Mandla. No, thank you very much, Advocate Koleka Taleka. We want to just clarify that the Speaker of Parliament has not yet given us any remedial action that has been sent to Parliament. She's hiding it because she's part of those who are preventing the executive to account in Parliament. But when we go back tomorrow, when we go back on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to demand that immediately
the remedial action is given. We have come to the end of this successful picket by all opposition parties in South Africa. Honorable Kwangwa is correct that majority, if not all of us who are here today, we are the government of the future. We are the government in waiting who are going to take over this government from the ANC, which has been misaligning and not accounting to the people of South Africa. Thank you very much. We have called all of you. We are now going to call the Secretary General of the Economic Freedom Fighters, who has been at the center of coordinating all the opposition parties to deliver a message of thanks and then close this picket. Secretary General Marshal Dlamini.
Amanda, 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 Amanda. Forward to unity, forward. Forward to unity, forward. No, thank you very much, Deputy President. Let me take this opportunity and thank all the leaders of the opposition parties that are here with us today. We've been on this process since the 3rd of August. We've been engaged on different meetings, and all of us were resolved that there must be accountability in this country. We want to thank all the ground forces, all members from different political parties, supporters and community here in South Africa who don't even belong to political parties, civil society, unions that are with us here today. All even political parties that are not represented in parliament. We have met them in a meeting because we know that this is not for the parties that are in parliament, but it's for everyone here in South Africa that we must defend this country because this is the only country we have. We want to thank all of you. We want to say you must travel safe, organizers of transport from all political formations. Let's make sure that our people, they are taken home safe and make sure that we leave this place clean because we love our country. So we'll make sure that as we go back, we clean everything that we brought here so that our enemies, they might not tell stories about us. Thank you very much. We continue fighting. Thank you very much, leaders. Amanda! Amanda! Forward to unity, forward! Thank you very much.
EFF again.